Hi there class, my name is Hunter Swanson and today I will be teaching you guys about in-flight alternator failures. So why is an alternator failure considered an emergency? Well, an alternator failure is an electrical malfunction. Your alternator supplies all electronics and equipment the necessary power to operate. So without that alternator working, it is now pulling energy from your battery, okay? So the cold hard facts about this: most batteries have a very limited amount of time before it runs out of its charge. So you need to act immediately on this emergency. So for our aircraft at our flight school, we have a Piper Archer 3, and it has enough emergency battery for about 30 minutes. So pre-alternator failure. Commercial students should be well rehearsed and thinking ahead of the aircraft by this stage in their training. With that said, they need to know the nearest airports to your current location and also have picked a field beyond their aircraft, so thinking ahead of the aircraft and knowing where they're going to land in case of an emergency. Also, pay attention to your engine monitoring system. You can verify your aircraft's engine health along your route. For an alternator failure, you can recognize the problem before it even occurs. So discharge indication on an ammeter is a minus sign. The load meter declining or a zero indication, the alternator out annunciator, or the low bus voltage annunciator. You should be looking for those to see how your alternator is performing and if power is still coming in. So what do you do in the event of an alternator failure? To find out your aircraft's specific emergency checklist criteria, you should visit your airplane's flight manual or the pilot operating handbook. In this slideshow, I'll be using the Piper Archer 3's emergency checklist. So step 1, verify the alternator failure by looking at the amps reading. Step 2, reset the alternator switch to off. And step 3, reset any tripped circuit breakers. So you might have to press them in or via switch. And step 4, turn on the alternator switch. So you turn that back on. If none of this fixes your alternator issue, you need to declare an emergency with air traffic control. This will help you get priority, and air traffic control can hopefully vector you to the nearest runway or help you find a safe spot to land. So let's say that none of those steps worked, as we have said. We go through our after reset failure steps. So step 1, alternator switch is turned back to off. Now you're going to monitor your power output, that's step 2. And step 3 is electrical load shed, the most important part to all of this. So you need to do this step within 3 minutes. You need to pull your non-essential bus circuit breakers. Then you're going to pull your lighting bus circuit breakers, and then you're going to turn off your avionics master switch. What this is going to do for you is it's going, in a short period of time, is ensure that you have turned off anything that is pulling a lot of power from your battery, so you can have the most battery life for your emergency flight. So next is you need to land immediately at the nearest airport if it's within range, or an open field near public land. So did this happen at night or an IMC? Well, unfortunately, this is a very scary situation for you at night or in instrument conditions. So I hope you brought a flashlight with fresh batteries. So try and keep your radio on as long as possible to allow communication with air traffic control. Like I said, they can vector you to a runway or airport, and they should or will at a controlled airport have a light gun ready so they can communicate with you and tell you what they want you to do. Things to remember: you most likely cannot turn on runway lights at an uncontrolled airport since you have everything turned off. You may not have landing light available either, that's no good. It's gonna be very, very dark upon landing. And most importantly, remain calm and maintain control of your aircraft. You're gonna be all right. And the last step, you need to notify the NTSB immediately of your in-flight electrical malfunction. You also need to tell them if anyone went to the hospital within 10 days and had to stay there for 48 hours or more. So report that. But anyways, I hope this helped all of you review your alternator failure checklist. If this isn't exactly the same as yours, I would highly recommend going and looking at your pilot operating handbook and reviewing those steps. All right, fly safe everyone, have a good day.